in this our YouTube channel. Now students, we are in the topic of electrochemistry. In this topic, in our last lecture, we have seen some different problems which are based on the relation between K and lambda, that is conductivity and molar conductivity. Now in continuation with that, students, in our today's lecture, we are going to see the variation of molar conductivity with concentration for strong and weak electrolytes. That is, Polday's law is again based on this point. That point we are going to discuss in our today's lecture. Now students, there are important things which we have to remember before going to learn this point. Is nothing but strong electrolytes and weak electrolytes. We should know the nature of strong electrolytes as well as weak electrolytes. Now students, now in this point, this is very important thing is that you should know about weak electrolytes and their dissociation or with the dilution or concentration, how its nature will behave. So this is very important thing. Variation of molar conductivity with concentration for strong electrolytes and weak electrolytes. Students, this is the important point. Now in our today's lecture, we are going to learn in detail. Before going to the graph, all of you know about the strong electrolytes and weak electrolytes and effect of dilution on it. Now students, whenever we are considering a strong electrolytes such as NaOH, NaCl, and if you want to dilute it, then in that case, as the dilution increases, the number of ions dissociated gets also increases. Means the number of ions in that resulting solution gets increases. Their number of ions gets increases. As the dilution of an electrolytic solution increases, means it may be strong acid, strong base, etc., etc. For example, at the place of strong electrolytes, we can strong acid we can take, strong base we can take, and at the place of strong electrolytes, again we can take strong base, like that. So on dilution, number of ions gets increases, the dissociation of electrolyte increases, hence the total number of ions also increases. Therefore the molar conductivity, that is lambda, also increases. Means students, in short, we can say that as dilution increases, dissociation also increases. This may result in the increase in total number of ions. Total number of ions gets also increases. Now what it does affect on another factor, that is molar conductivity, that is lambda gets increases. So for the simplicity, you should take it account, or you should point out this important point, or this relation you have to know very well. As dilution increases, dissociation increases. As dissociation increases, total number of ions also increases, and which results in increase in molar conductivity, that is lambda. So before going to the graph, you should know about all these points. Now after that students, we are going to draw one of the graph which tells us, means what is the effect of concentration on dilution. Now students, I am going to draw two graphs which shows the effect of dilution on strong electrolyte as well as weak electrolyte. Now students, this is the graph which is nothing but the lambda m versus square root of C. Lambda m is nothing but the molar conductivity and square root of C is the concentration. Now this is the graph which starts from origin 0, 0. Now students, I have drawn two curves. In that two curves, one of the curve which I have drawn with straight line is for strong electrolyte, and another one which I have drawn exponentially, which is for weak electrolyte. So these are the two curves which I have drawn, and these two curves which represents, if we increase the dilution for strong electrolytes and weak electrolytes, then their nature can be shown will be like this. Means this graph represents as if we increase the dilution, or instead of increasing dilution we can also say that decreasing in concentration. Both the terms have same meaning. Now here, for the sake of simplicity, we will consider only increasing dilution. For that we can say that term as a infinite dilution, and that infinite dilution I will show here, that is lambda 0. Now students, this is the notation for molar conductivity at infinite dilution, lambda 0. This is a very important factor which you should remember. Lambda 0 is nothing but what? Molar conductance at infinite dilution or at zero concentration. Both the terms have same meaning. Now students, with this curve, what we are going to learn is that the increase in molar conductivity with increase in dilution or decrease in concentration is different for strong and weak electrolytes. This is the conclusion of this graph, because curve itself shows the two different things. For strong electrolytes as well as for weak electrolytes, both are different. Now on dilution, molar conductivity of strong electrolytes increases rapidly and approaches a maximum limiting value. This is the notation which, or the curve which I have shown in the graph. Now look at students, this is the curve where it touches to the y-axis on lambda 0 at this point. What it tells us that on dilution the molar conductivity of strong electrolytes increases rapidly and approaches to the maximum limiting value at infinite dilution, or we can say the zero concentration. Now students, this point which I have shown is nothing but the lambda 0, or we can also show this point as a lambda infinite. Both the terms have same meaning. Means infinite dilution, molar conductance at infinite dilution, or molar conductance at zero concentration. You can use either this term or this term. Both have the same meaning. Now students, in this case weak electrolytes, see this exponential graph. Now students, if I extend this graph, it will not touches to the y-axis at anywhere. If I extend this graph. Now what is its meaning? You know very well the nature of weak electrolytes. Weak electrolytes, they will not dissociate completely, or 100% dissociation will not take place for it. In that case what will happen? Some electrolyte, some of the part of electrolyte will remain as it is, means it will remain undissociated. Now in that case students, what will happen? If I dilute that such a weak electrolyte, it will not dissociate completely. It tells us that, means some of the part of that electrolyte will remain undissociated. That undissociated part which I can show with the help of this graph. If it dissociates, means 100% dilution takes place, dissociation will take place. In that case it will touches to the y-axis, but for weak electrolytes it will not completely dissociate, means it will not touches to the y-axis at any limiting value, means that point will not, we can say we cannot find it exactly. Okay, now students, to avoid this complexity, one of the scientists, Kohlrausch, who has introduced the Kohlrausch law for finding the lambda value, that is molar conductivity of weak electrolytes. He has found it out with the help of strong electrolytes, and that we are calling it as a lambda value for weak electrolytes. If we experimentally trying to calculate the lambda 0 value for weak electrolytes, you will not get it. But with the help of strong electrolytes, if you are going to find out according to the Kohlrausch law, then students, this is the best application which Kohlrausch law has given to us. We can find out the lambda 0 value for weak electrolytes, that is molar conductivity at infinite dilution or at zero concentration for weak electrolytes. This is the one of the application of Kohlrausch law. Now that we will study or we will learn in our next video lecture. So this is the about second graph that we are calling as a curve for. Now if we are going to learn about this exponential curve for weak electrolytes, what it tells us that, which is the exponential curve for weak electrolytes. If you are going to dilute that weak electrolyte, as the dissociation will not take place completely, it will shows the exponential nature. This is the reason why it shows exponential nature. Now the molar conductivity is low and which increases slowly. At high concentration or in high concentration region, which if we take the strong electrolyte, which increases rapidly. This is the difference between both the curves. Now students, at low concentration or at high dilution, this is because the extent of dissociation increases with dilution rapidly. Now students, this lambda 0 value for strong electrolyte you will get exactly, but for weak electrolytes, as the dissociation is not taking place completely, it will not shows a perfect value, or we cannot conclude a perfect value. Now students, this is the important thing which you have to differentiate between weak electrolytes and strong electrolytes by using this curve. And lambda 0 values for strong electrolytes can be obtained by extrapolating this linear graph to zero concentration, or we can say infinite dilution. However, lambda 0 values for weak electrolytes cannot be obtained by this method, since the graph increases, or which shows the exponential nature, and we will not get the exact values in this case. Therefore, since the graph increases exponentially at very high dilution and does not intersect this curve at this y-axis, so this is the reason why this method is not applicable to calculate the lambda 0 values for weak electrolytes. So this is the all about this curve which is given in your textbook. So after this, there are different methods. One of the method which we are going to learn in our next video is nothing but the applications of Kohlrausch law. In that applications of Kohlrausch law, one of the application is there. By using that application, we can calculate the lambda 0 values for weak electrolytes at infinite dilution or at zero concentration. So this is all about in our today's lecture. Thank you very much.